I always had a creek in my backyard, and I was always very into exploring the nature. I was really into animals. I wanted to be a vet when I was little. And so I really just liked, catching a frog in my backyard, raising it in a little aquarium, watching it grow up, getting some tadpoles, stuff like that. That was really my first look at science, and that got me excited, and then I've been hooked ever since. I wanted to be a doctor ever since my freshman year of high school. So I knew I wanted to do bio too. I always loved that. That was my favorite class in high school. I took AP Bio as soon as I could. So I always loved that, and I just love learning about the pathways and really being a person learning about how a person works. I think it's just amazing, and especially I like neuroscience too. And I just think the idea of metacognition and just being able to learn the brain learning about itself is it's awesome. So I'm really into that.
Josh is working on characterization of two human lens cell lines, lens-derived cell lines, and that is an important aspect of our project because we have published in a seminal paper in Science a few years ago that an RNA binding protein which formed RNA granules in lens cells was important for keeping our lens clear. And when you had the mutations in this particular gene, newborn babies could get cataracts. And so what Joshua intends to do is to study whether these human lens cell lines can be useful for studying these specialized structures called as RNA granules. And why this is important is because if he gets successful in characterizing these granules, he will be able to identify a new pathway for regulating gene expression in these cells.
I'm actually part of the early admission program to Jefferson Med School here, which is Sidney Kimmel Med School now. But it's called Medical Scholars, and it's run by Dr. Barlow. And you get admitted. I've already been admitted to Jefferson University for med school, so that's where I'll be after this year. Yeah.
You meet so many students in your life, but Josh had this excitement in his eyes, and at the same time he was just not excited without the knowledge of what he was getting into. That's the impression I got, that he was mature as well. And then when he first gave me one of his written sort of documents where he wrote a certain proposal, I was very impressed to see how mature it was, how his ideas flew through the proposal. It was really outstanding, I would say.
From there, I'm looking into neurology and neurosurgery. I'm really into neuroscience. I think it's a really untapped field that we're just on the cusp of, so I want to get in on that.
He's been very dedicated. He's a very dedicated student, smart. He just enjoys what he's doing. You can just meet him. I'm sure you can meet him, talk to him, and get that feel that here is a person who is serious. He's thought of his career, his goals. They're very clear in his mind, and he's willing to not just work hard but enjoy the journey, the path of getting there. Really,
there's a program where if you are going into an understaffed field in Delaware in whatever practice you're planning on doing, they'll help you with your med school costs, and so that's something I'm really interested in because med school's not cheap. So coming back to Delaware is definitely an option for me, especially in the neurosciences. Delaware is a little understaffed at the moment, so I think coming back and helping out my home state would be a great idea.